For centuries, Kriya Yoga masters have talked about a fascinating idea, that where your attention goes, your energy flows. They believed they could reshape their inner world through pure focus. But what if that wasn't just a metaphor? Modern neuroscience is now looking inside the brains of meditators and finding that these ancient masters were describing a profound biological process. In the next few minutes, you'll learn the secret of how specific attention training techniques can physically change your brain and help you tap into your true potential. At the heart of the Kriya Yoga tradition is a powerful concept. Attention is prana. In yogic sciences, prana isn't just your breath. It's the basic life force, the subtle energy that animates your body and mind. According to the masters, your attention is the vehicle for this energy. When your attention is scattered, your prana is scattered, leaving you feeling drained, anxious, and unfocused. But when you gather your attention to a single point, your prana is concentrated, leading to vitality, clarity, and a deep sense of peace. This ancient idea speaks directly to a very modern problem. We're living in an age of non-stop distraction. Our phones are buzzing, our minds are pulled in 1,000 directions, and the pressure to multitask leaves us feeling mentally scattered and chronically stressed. In yogic terms, you could say we're living in a state of dissipated prana. Our vital energy is leaking out through all the little cracks in our attention. We feel exhausted but can't sleep. We feel busy but not productive. We're connected to everything, yet feel disconnected from ourselves. This isn't just a feeling, it's a psychophysiological reality. Constantly dividing our attention keeps our nervous systems in a low-level state of fight or flight. We lose the ability to think deeply, feel fully, and just be present. The ancient yogis would say our energy isn't flowing, it's hemorrhaging. But they also offered a solution, a sophisticated technology of the mind to gather this scattered energy and reclaim their inner power. A technology that, until recently, was understood more through faith than through hard evidence. For a long time, concepts like prana and life force energy were pretty much dismissed by the scientific community. They were seen as subjective experiences that couldn't be measured and therefore couldn't be studied. Science deals in the observable and the quantifiable. How could you possibly measure an invisible energy that flows where attention goes? The turning point didn't come from trying to measure the energy itself, but from measuring the instrument that directs it, the human brain. With advanced neuroimaging like fMRI and EEG, scientists could finally peek behind the curtain. For the first time, they could watch the brain in real time as a person practiced the ancient art of focused attention. They started by studying long-term meditators, people who had spent tens of thousands of hours training their minds. The initial guess for many scientists was that they wouldn't find much, maybe some minor signs of relaxation. What they found, however, was that the brains of these practitioners weren't just calmer, they were structurally and functionally different. Scientists observed that the simple, sustained act of paying attention was linked to profound changes in the brain's wiring and even its physical size in key areas. Studies began to emerge showing that meditation wasn't just about finding a moment of peace. It was an active training process that sparked what's known as neuroplasticity. The ancient claims of the yogis were suddenly finding a conceptual foothold in the evidence-based world of modern neuroscience. The bridge between inner experience and materialism was being built, one brain scan at a time. So, what did neuroscientists actually find? They found tangible evidence for a principle called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's amazing ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Think of your brain not as a fixed piece of hardware, but as a dynamic, living electrical grid that's constantly being rewired based on your thoughts, actions, and focus. Where your attention goes, neural pathways fire. And as the saying in neuroscience goes, neurons that fire together, wire together. To get how this works, let's talk about two key brain networks. The first is the default mode network, or DMN. You can think of the DMN as your brain's autopilot. It's active when you aren't focused on a specific task, when your mind is wandering, thinking about the past or worrying about the future. While this is a normal function, altered DMN activity is often observed in people with anxiety and depression, and is linked to that scattered feeling of a mind pulled in every direction. The second is what we can call your brain's focus circuits, which heavily involve regions like the prefrontal cortex. This is the network that lights up when you concentrate on a task, solve a problem, or stay in the present moment. Here is the secret neuroscientists uncovered. Meditation and attention training practices act like a workout for your brain. Many studies have shown that during meditation, activity in the DMN's key hubs significantly decreases. This is especially true for focused attention styles of meditation. Experienced meditators not only show less DMN activity during practice, but some studies suggest a lasting change in their baseline brain function. They've cultivated an ability to step out of the cycle of mind wandering and self-referential thought that can trouble so many of us. When they talked about stilling the mind, they may have been describing the very real experience of down-regulating their default mode network and strengthening their capacity for focused, present moment awareness. The ancient art of directing attention was, it turns out, a practical application of neuroplasticity. If general meditation is a workout for the brain, then Kriya Yoga is a specific, methodical system designed to accelerate this process of mental transformation. And its primary tool, the master key to the practice, is the breath. Why the breath? Because it's one of the most powerful functions in your body that is both automatic and controllable. It just happens, but you can consciously change its rhythm, depth, and pace at any moment. This makes the breath a unique bridge between your conscious mind and your autonomic nervous system, the system controlling all your involuntary functions like heart rate and stress response. This is where pranayama, the formal practice of controlling the breath, comes in. In Kriya Yoga, pranayama is more than just a set of breathing exercises. It's a precise science of using the breath to regulate the nervous system and, in turn, direct that subtle energy the yogis call prana. When you're stressed, your breathing gets shallow and rapid, activating your fight or flight response. But when you intentionally slow down your breathing, especially making your exhales longer than your inhales, you can stimulate the vagus nerve and activate your rest and digest response. This isn't a placebo, it's a direct physiological intervention. Studies show that certain pranayama practices can measurably increase heart rate variability, or HRV, a key marker of a balanced and resilient nervous system. They can help shift your body out of chronic stress and into a state of restoration. Kriya Yoga takes this principle and applies it with great precision. The techniques often involve guiding the breath and attention along the spinal column, or concentrating it at specific points. From a scientific perspective, these are complex forms of focused attention. You're not just watching the breath, you're using it as a vehicle to train your focus with laser-like precision. This intense concentration further quiets the default mode network and channels the brain's resources, creating a powerful feedback loop. The calmer the mind, the more stable the breath. The more stable the breath, the calmer the mind. This is the technology that allows a practitioner to consciously gather their scattered energy and focus it with immense power. The evidence of these transformative effects is no longer just anecdotal. It's being written in the very structure of the brain. Neuroimaging studies of long-term meditators from various traditions have revealed remarkable and consistent changes. First, there's an increase in grey matter. Researchers have found that long-term practitioners can have thicker cortical tissue in areas like the prefrontal cortex, the command centre for decision-making and sustained attention, and the insula, a region linked to awareness of your internal bodily states. This suggests they may be literally more in tune with themselves. Second, the brain's activity patterns can change. EEG studies, which measure the brain's electrical waves, suggest that yogic practices like Kriya Yoga may lead to an increase in alpha waves, which are associated with a state of calm, relaxed wakefulness. Some studies have also noted changes in theta and delta wave activity. An increase in these brainwave patterns during wakeful meditation can signify a brain that is less stressed and more deeply relaxed. Furthermore, even short-term practice shows measurable benefits. Observational studies on Isha Kriya, a simple guided meditation, have reported notable reductions in symptoms of anxiety and depression. Other research looking at Kriya Yoga practices over just 6 weeks found a significant decrease in perceived stress. These aren't just reports of feeling better, they point toward quantifiable shifts in mental health, supported by objective changes in brain activity, demonstrating how these practices may retune the nervous system for resilience and well-being. If this exploration of the mind's hidden potential clicks with you, subscribe for more deep dives into the science of ancient wisdom. The journey to understand where neuroscience and spirituality meet is just getting started, and we'll be exploring it every step of the way. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever personally experienced the powerful connection between where your attention goes and how you feel? The great secret of the Kriya Yoga masters is, in the end, beautifully simple. It's not a supernatural power for a chosen few. It's a potential lying dormant inside every one of us. You could think of the phrase, "where attention goes, energy flows," as a timeless instruction manual for our own minds. And modern science is helping us translate that manual. Attention can be seen as the focused engagement of our neural networks, particularly the prefrontal cortex. Energy can be understood as the metabolic and electrical activity of our brain and nervous system. And the flow is the process of neuroplasticity, the tangible rewiring of our own brain circuits. The ancient yogis discovered through thousands of hours of inner exploration what brain scans are now confirming. We have the ability to consciously direct our focus, regulate our nervous system with our breath, and quite literally reshape our minds for the better. The question is shifting from if this is possible to how we can apply it. The only question left is, where will you choose to place your attention next?